Hello and welcome to our Sunday morning tailgate. NFL season's right around the corner, guys, and this is brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am joined by always my man Chris P. Bacon. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good. How's everybody doing today? 1 week from NFL football.
Well, or a few days if you count the
Thursday a few days,
game.
Yeah.
And then we are joined, luckily, by a newcomer. I mean, you've seen him probably on MI6 a little bit. He's going to help us out. My man Loro, how you doing, bud?
Doing great. I'm excited to make my coast-to-coast debut today, and I'm looking forward to a very good NFL season coming up, and it's going to be a great year this year.
Oh, yeah, I think it's going to be a heck of a year. So, I guess, Loro, to know you a little bit better, I got to say, I'm guessing you're a Patriots fan.
Yes, I am a big-time Patriots fan, and then I also follow the Rams and Chargers since I'm from Los Angeles, and
Okay.
I think that the Rams and Chargers are also going to be great teams this year too. I also think the Patriots are going to be a much better team this year than they were last season.
Okay, all right. So since you're new and me and Chris have covered our team a little bit, so what do you think about the Patriots? What do you think the quarterback situation and how they're going to look?
I think it's going to look great. I mean, I think Mac Jones has really exceeded my expectations throughout the preseason and training camp and OTAs. He's had a great understanding of the playbook, and I really think that Mac Jones is definitely going to be in the conversation for Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think that this rookie quarterback class is very good, and although a lot of people pick Trevor Lawrence to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think this is going to be the tightest race in years for Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, I think I know Lawrence was the big dog and the big pick and the hot item that everybody wanted, but I think him in Jacksonville might be a few years out, but I like that little take on Mac Jones there. So, Chris, anything developing on your Cowboys at all?
No, not much. I mean, we got a couple new players. One a quarterback from Carolina.
So he'll be starting week 3 or something?
No. I mean, he's the backup, and then we re-signed a couple other players. So
okay. Yeah, nothing new here in Minnesota. Made a few minor moves. Smith was been put on injured list, so they went out and traded for a tight end from Jacksonville, I think it was. So, but with that being said, Thursday night, guys, we kick off.
Yeah.
Adam chimes in. Ben DiNucci.
Yeah.
Yes, what do you think? They made the cut that you wanted. So,
yeah.
Loro, since you're new, a few weeks ago we were talking on a different show, and we're talking about the Cowboys and their cap strap. You know, their strap for cap coming up. And Chris, being a Cowboy fan, he's like, well, all they need to do, this is how he put it, but he didn't mean it. All they need to do is cut DiNucci, and they'd be fine. Which he meant to go on, but he finished it. So we've been giving him kind of a heckling that Ben DiNucci was the reason why they're in a cap strap like they are. So that's what Adams. But go ahead and explain what you really meant there, bud.
Like he's one of the people that they should get rid of. I think there should be more, but they did restructure Zeke's contract though.
Yeah,
to kind of help that out. And they did re-sign him, DiNucci, to the practice squad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always good to have that quarterback. I think the Vikings did the same thing with Browning. I think they brought him back to the practice squad because, again, we all know if you don't make or if you don't have enough players to make the game, you're going to forfeit it, and we don't want and that's something that Denver should have did last year. So, but Loro, before we get into it, how was it watching Tom Brady win it last year?
It was definitely awkward seeing him winning with another team, but he's used to being on my team for the past 20 years. And I think Tom Brady is a very good addition to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially he gets the weapons what he wants. In his last year in New England, he only threw to Julian Edelman, and everybody else was double teaming the other receivers. So I think Brady now has the variety of options on who to throw the football to and who to distribute the ball to. And I think Tom Brady – and what I heard is that he wants to play for Tampa Bay for quite a long time, but eventually he's going to have to hang up his cleats.
Yeah, we know Mother Time or Father Time, whatever they call it, is undefeated, and I know Tom Brady's kind of pushing that button to be the first one to beat him. So, but before I forget, little sad news out of the NFL this past week. Revolving the Patriots, David Patton passed away. So, Loro, what's your fondest memory of him?
I just remember him and watching some film on him is that he was a member of 3 Super Bowl championship teams on the Patriots, and I didn't get to watch him play when growing up, but I just remember that he was just an integral part of the Patriots dynasty.
Yeah, he was, if I remember right, he was a small receiver. The guy could fly, and he was just one of those that, he might not have been a big name, but it seemed like he was there when the team needed him. He was in those clutch moments. That's all I can remember. Chris, do you remember anything about Patton or Patson?
I probably do. The name kind of sounds familiar, but I know, any of those players that were on the Patriots, coaching staff or players roster were an integral part of that team and their success. So it's just sad that.
Yeah, it is. He was a young guy. So, all right. So best wishes to the family and the organization there. So Thursday we kick it off. Yep. We got the Cowboys versus the Buccaneers. Chris, your team.
Yeah.
What are we going to see from them?
Hopefully some good offense. Hopefully the defense improves. Dak's going to be back. He says he's healthy. Hopefully he is. They've been kind of limiting him, a lot during training camp and haven't played him in the preseason. I just hope all goes well for the offense and that the defense improves. We've had some success in these opening games. I think one of them we played against the Giants and won. But overall, we're not in these games too many times, and we'll just see what happens.
Okay. Loro, what do you think, being, I guess, a semi-Brady fan still and watching the Bucs go for the repeat?
I think the Bucs are primed to go for that. I think Tom Brady is hungry for an 8th Super Bowl ring, and I think that the Buccaneers offense is going to steamroll over the Cowboys defense because, last year the Cowboys defense was so bad, especially in the secondary, and I think that Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are going to steamroll the Cowboys secondary, and I think with the Bucs defense, what they got to do is they got to stop Dak Prescott. They got to knock Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield so many times, double team Amari Cooper, because they don't have a tight end to throw to. They should have drafted a tight end. Like they should have moved up in the draft and got Kyle Pitts, but oh well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Thursday game should be good. I hope both teams are 100%. I know Dak dealing with his injuries, but Loro, I'm with you. I think the march for at least a repeat to the Super Bowl starts Thursday. I don't think Cowboys God, I kind of really wanted to pull it off because I'm not. I mean, Brady's kind of growing on me, but I think the Bucks are gonna win this. I think they're gonna do better than the 7.5 that they're predicted to win by. But
that's gone up since I don't know, a week ago maybe.
okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says 7.5, but it is what it is. So we got Adam chiming in, talking about Patson. He's the first guy ever to have a running, receiving, and a passing touchdown in the same game. I do remember that. I did forget about that, but that mile feet there. Joanne, as we call her, the queen on Coast to Coast here, says, "Good morning, gentlemen." And Marty Jones, Crispy Bacon needs a new team.
Which team? Which team? I mean,
yeah, which
I can
team?
kind of root for him. I mean,
yeah,
Houston, I can't do Houston.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. We don't want to get Crispy too many teams here. We don't want him to be like somebody else that has 60 million teams to root for. So we're gonna start a segment here. We're gonna give a little Loro some homework assignments. We're gonna call it Loro on the lowdown. So over the last couple days, I gave him a couple players to break down. Patrick Mahomes, what's it going to take to get him back to the Super Bowl? And Winston on filling the shoes of Drew Brees. So Loro, give us the lowdown on those two guys.
All right, so here's the Loro lowdown on those players. So let's start with Patrick Mahomes and what it's going to take for the Chiefs to go back to a third Super Bowl. I think what's going to take for the Chiefs to do that is to continue where they started in 2019 and in 2018. I think that offense could really get them there because Mahomes can distribute the ball to Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Mecole Hardman, and then he has a new running back to kind of distribute the ball to in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think the defense of the Chiefs, it wasn't great last year in the Super Bowl just because Tom Brady and that Tampa offense really manhandled that offense and steamrolled it. And I also think that the Chiefs, however, I think they have the talent to go back to the Super Bowl for a third year in a row, but it's definitely hard to do that in this day and age. But for the Saints, and replacing Drew Brees is Jameis Winston now going to be starting under center for the first time since 2019. And I think that he has big holes and shoes to fill as the new starting quarterback for the Saints. Is he Drew Brees? No, but maybe Sean Payton could use his magic tricks to rejuvenate Jameis Winston's career. He is a talented quarterback, and he was back in his day at Florida State. But I just think that he wasn't that great in Tampa Bay, but maybe Sean Payton could really help him out. I thought that Bruce Arians kind of made him better when he played for him in his final year in Tampa Bay. So that's something to break down here, and looking forward to seeing how that unfolds.
Yeah, I think, you nailed it. I mean, the only team to really go back-to-back Super Bowls was the Bills, I believe. I know Dallas did it a couple times, but, for a young guy in Patrick Mahomes there, he's really become probably the next face of the franchise and the league if he keeps doing what he's doing. So have no disagreements there. And Winston, I mean, the guy's I should say a proven starter, but he can start, and he's got some shoes to fill there. So, Chris, what do you think on Loro's lowdown there?
Yeah, I think Winston's probably the better quarterback for New Orleans. I mean, Taysom Hill has proven he could start, but you have experience with Jameis Winston at the starting position for that quarterback. And I think Patrick Mahomes can get back to a Super Bowl. He's done it back-to-back so far. He's kind of the betting favorite to go back. We'll just see how the season goes.
Yeah, I think sorry, just making some notes here. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I think Mahomes definitely has that peripheral bullet on his back because everybody wants to take him out. So So, Chris, give us a little history lesson. Did you find anything this week in the NFL over the years?
I haven't historically, but I do remember. I think it was back in 2012.
Okay.
They had a kickoff game on the day or on this day, and it was on a Wednesday. Normally, it's on a Thursday, but I think this one was particular on a Wednesday because of some kind of presidential press conference. So,
Okay.
not many kickoff games on a Wednesday. So,
Yeah,
I found
not
that
too many. I mean, unless you're, this past year where they're moving all the games around and everything. So,
yeah.
So with that being said, actually, before we move on to our prediction topic for how the teams are going to finish this year, I gotta say I don't know if you guys watched much of college last night or saw any news stories, but what about that kid in the FCS conference? The team name is slipping my name, but the kid threw 10 touchdowns in a game. He was a former Michigan transfer, and the score was like 85 to 30 something. I'm trying to find the news story here, but yeah, he transferred out of Michigan to play so he could start. And I mean, I don't care what kind of competition it is, to throw 10 touchdowns in the game. That's a feat. What do you think, Loro?
I think that's something that's rarely done in any type of football, especially in the pros or in college football. But I didn't even watch that game. But the only the games I watched yesterday in college football was Oklahoma and Tulsa. I thought Spencer Rattler played very well, and then I saw Alabama blow out Miami, and Bryce Young looked like he was that next Mac Jones in Alabama.
Yeah, so here I found the story. Not even going to try to pronounce the team name, but it's the Blue Hose quarterback, Ren Hefley, Hefley. Sets a touchdown pass record with 10 touchdowns. He was a former Michigan transfer, decided to go change schools. The score was 84 to 43. So what do you think, Chris? I mean, granted, big feat there. I mean,
that's impressive.
yeah.
Throwing 10 touchdowns. Like Loro said, it's hard to do it in any type of football to throw 10 touchdowns.
Heck, it's hard to Madden.
Yeah, it's harder than Madden. No matter what setting you put that on, it's hard.
Yeah.
But no, I'm glad he threw 10 touchdowns. Set a record, and maybe you'll put eyes on him, for the draft or pick him up as an undrafted free agent. Because not many, FCS players get drafted. I mean, they are starting to now, and they're starting to get looks at them, but it's still hard for them to get drafted.
Yeah, exactly. So moving forward, we're gonna do our full division. Who's gonna win each division? How they're gonna finish? And then next week we'll probably do our playoff picture and keep it updated and kind of see which guy gets the closest on his predictions here. So we're going to start off in the AFC East. Loro, let's go with you, and you tell us how you think this division is going to finish top to bottom.
Okay, when I look at it, I really think I would want to say that the Patriots would win this division, but I gotta be real here. I gotta be honest with you guys here. As much as I want my Patriots to win the AFC East, I think the Buffalo Bills are still going to win the AFC East. They're right now the better team in that division. I think the Miami Dolphins are the second best team in that division. I think the Dolphins will finish in second place. I think Tua Tagovailoa is going to have a fantastic season. He's going to have a breakout season. I have a feeling about that because the Dolphins really invested on receivers and also improving on that defense. The Dolphins defense is going to be fantastic this year. The Patriots, however, if you look at it, Mac Jones is going to turn out to be the real deal. He's only a rookie. He's going to go through growing pains as most rookie quarterbacks do. I mean, it's not easy to transition from college to the NFL, but I think Mac Jones has made a very good transition from the college level to the NFL level because Bill Belichick and Nick Saban both run similar offenses in both the Patriots and in Alabama. And the Jets, the team that I don't like as a Patriots fan myself, and even though that they're our arch rival and the top dog rival in our division, but I think Zach Wilson is going to be the real deal. I heard Tony Romo say that Zach Wilson kind of plays like Patrick Mahomes. I kind of watched his tape when he was at BYU, and I think that he was viewed as a highly touted prospect in this draft class along with Trevor Lawrence. And Zach Wilson is he's kind of the same height as Russell Wilson and all that, but they're not related though. Don't get confused with both Zach Wilson and Russell Wilson, but I think Zach Wilson is going to sling the ball downfield, and I think that the Jets are going to be much better offensively. I think Robert Saleh is going to turn around the Jets, make them a competitive ball club, and I think defensively the Jets are going to be great, and I think Robert Saleh is going to have a say on that side of the ball. So I think in that order, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, and Jets.
All right, Chris, how about you? What do you how do you see this division breaking down?
Yeah. Here we go. I see the Buffalo Bills going, being on the top, followed by the Dolphins, Jets, and the Patriots. This is before Cam Newton was cut. I'm not sure how they're going to do now. Hopefully they'll improve a little better, but at the moment, I see Buffalo taking that top spot in the AFC East, only because, they have good talent. They have a good quarterback in Josh Allen. I feel like they've put a good team together. Hopefully they can reach that Super Bowl and actually, potentially win it if they go up against a team they can beat.
Okay, so you got the Patriots finish last there, or kind of close with the Jets there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're all in agreement. Buffalo is going to take that division. I'm going to go with the Pats at number 2. I think Belichick's probably going to work some magic there, like Loro said. And I think we're going to see the next coming here. Hopefully not, but I think we're going to see the Pats do what the Pats normally do. I got the Dolphins. I got the Jets. The Jets were awful last year. They're making strides. Maybe a couple more years. Tua, I'm not 100% confident in right now, but Dolphins don't seem to be either, even though they say they are. So that's what I got there. So, Chris, what about the AFC West? Who do you got in that going there?
AFC West. Let's see. I believe. Oh yeah, Kansas City, of course, kind of like the Buffalo Bills situation, at number 1, only because they have Patrick Mahomes, and at the moment they went to 2 straight Super Bowls, won one, lost one, but still that's an impressive thing to do. Chargers not far behind at 2nd, Broncos at 3rd, and then the Raiders at 4th. I mean, both those teams will improve from last year, but I just don't see them in the playoff mix right now.
Okay, Loro, what do you got there?
So I got the Chiefs in first place. I think they're going to win the division. They're still the better team in the AFC West. My hometown LA Chargers are getting there. I really like Justin Herbert. I think that he's going to take a huge leap in year 2, and I think that the Chargers are going to be a fun team to watch this year. I think the change of the coaching staff is definitely going to help improve things and how things are run with the Chargers. And I think the Raiders will be in 3rd place along with the Chargers in 2nd. But with the Raiders 3rd, the reason why I say that is because I think the Raiders are always going to be good offensively. But I think defensively, I still have questions about that side of the ball because last year they stumbled down the stretch. But I think that the Raiders could be a lot better this year than what people think. And of course, I think in last place, I think the Denver Broncos are going to be in last place, not because I think that their quarterback situation is still not settled yet. But I think Teddy Bridgewater gives them the best chance to win ball games. But I think Denver's defense will be the reason why I think they're going to be winning ball games. But I just think that Vic Fangio might be on the hot seat. Who knows? I don't think all of this is his fault, but he might have some blame to do with why Denver hasn't gone over that over 500 mark in his first 2 years as a head coach.
Okay, yeah. So for me, I agree with you guys both on the first two. Kansas City winning it, Chargers being number 2. Loro, I agree with you. Raiders and Broncos. I think it's going to be a tight race there, 3rd and 4th. If Bridgewater can get clicking with the Broncos, I can see them being 3rd. Raiders kind of just I don't know. I don't know what kind of direction they think they are going in. So we'll see. I mean, so we got Kansas City and Chargers for all three of us. So the North, I'll start with the North. I think we're going to see some shakeup here. I don't think it's going to be a typical North division. I'm going with the Browns going to win it. I think they're up and coming. I think they're strong. They got a heck of a running game. You know, so if they can get that with a little bit of pass, a little bit of defense, I think they're going to make some strides there. I think the Steelers are going to step down. And honestly, I only see probably one team making this playoff run out of this division. So I think Steelers are getting old. I think they should have moved on from Ben, but they decided to keep him, which, you know, loyalty is one thing, and I get that and I respect that, but, you know, sometimes you just got to cut ties. I got the Bengals number 3. As long as Burrow could stay upright, I think he would be functional, and I think he could start making strides with the Bengals. And then I'm going to go Ravens in last.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it could flip-flop. I mean, you know, if Lamar Jackson can start passing and that defense can keep doing what they're doing, then I can see the Ravens moving up. But I think they're going to struggle in the pass game. If the teams can stop the run, they're going to stop the Ravens. So, Chris, go ahead and give us your thoughts on this division.
I think the Ravens are going to be up top, followed by the Steelers, Browns, and Bengals. Ravens and Lamar Jackson, I think they're a good combo for the team and him. Their offense, you know, no matter who's at quarterback, can work in the system. I agree with the Steelers in that Big Ben should have retired a long time ago. His time's kind of run out, and I just think it's time to put somebody else at quarterback. Cleveland, I mean, they had an impressive run last year, making it to the playoffs for the first time in many years. Unfortunately, didn't make it. I think they're going to be in 3rd place. It's going to be a hard schedule, especially with that 17th game coming down to the wire. And I think Cincinnati is going to have some struggles this year, even with Joe Burrow coming back. And that's kind of why I put them in last.
Okay. All right, Loro. Where are we going with the North?
In the AFC North, you mean? Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep,
in the AFC.
We're still on the AFC side.
So in the AFC North, I got the Cleveland Browns winning the division. I think that if you see what happened last year, I think when they beat the Steelers in that wild card game, it made me think, oh, they're ready for that next level after they beat the Steelers to move on to the divisional round. And I think that this team is going to win the division this year. I think Baker Mayfield's ready to take that next leap. I think the Browns are going to run the ball, make other defenses tired. And I think the passing game is going to click. And I think the Browns defense is going to be the reason why I think they're going to win the AFC North. And then I have in second the Baltimore Ravens. I think they're going to have a winning record. They're going to have a great year. I disagree with them being in last just because I feel like that Lamar Jackson does have weapons this year. I mean, they got Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, Hollywood Brown, and then losing J.K. Dobbins is a big blow. But I think Gus Edwards is going to step up big time in his place. But I think what really questions me about the Ravens heading into the playoffs is their defense. But I think that the Ravens defense will be better this year than it was in the previous 2 years that they have made the playoffs. And I think they're a very well-coached team. I have the Pittsburgh Steelers in third place. I have them going 10-7, but I don't have them making the playoffs, but they're going to be on the brink of elimination. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger should have retired, but I think that I respect that he wants to play there and help this team go through a transition, but I think that Ben Roethlisberger is probably going to have to retire and hang it up soon. But I think that the Steelers, they're okay offensively, but what led them to that undefeated start last year was their defense. And then I think the Bengals are going to be good within the next year or two. I love Joe Burrow. I think that he is already the real deal in Cincinnati. And I think he'll be the reason why I think the Bengals will win a playoff game for the first time in years whenever the Bengals next time make the playoffs. But I have the Bengals in last, but probably not with a good record.
Okay, so like I figured we'd be a little bit different. I mean, yeah, I can see the Ravens. I think it's going to be a tough division. That's one reason why I put the Ravens there. But I can see any. We all three made great points: the Browns, Ravens, Steelers. So there might be a little turning of the tides there. I see. So, Chris,
yes.
Let's start with the NFC South. How do you see that one shaping up?
AFC South?
AFC, I'm sorry, yes, AFC South.
Oh. Let's see, AFC South. Well, here we go. We all know Houston's going to be last. I mean, that's kind of a given right there.
Okay.
But I see Tennessee Titans, being first. Derrick Henry still at running back. You got Tannehill still at quarterback. I don't see why they shouldn't be in first place. Second should be, in my opinion, Indianapolis. I think they have the quarterback they need and want. It just depends on if he stays healthy. It doesn't seem like it right now, but if and when he is, I think they'll be a close second. Jacksonville, even though they have forgot his name for a second.
Lawrence?
Yeah. Lawrence. They're gonna have some growing pains with him, but they're gonna do a lot better than they did last year. And then, like I said, Houston with all their struggles they're going with Deshaun Watson and all that. I think it's gonna be more than they can handle, and they're gonna be in last.
Yeah. All right, Loro. AFC South, how do you see that finishing up?
Oh, I think it's going to be between the Colts and the Titans. I mean, I love Tennessee because of Mike Vrabel, former Patriot, former player under Bill Belichick. He's done a fantastic job constructing that team and building the Tennessee Titans in the way that Bill Belichick builds the Patriots. So I have the Tennessee Titans winning the division for a second year in a row, because I think Ryan Tannehill has really resurrected his career there. I think Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, that's going to be other pieces that this offense is going to be built around. And I think that even though that Tennessee doesn't have a tight end, I really think that the Titans are going to be a very good team in that sense. And then in second place, I have the Colts. And I think Carson Wentz is going to also get his career resurrected because he played for Frank Reich in Philadelphia. And I think that the offense that Wentz was in under Frank Reich, it was similar to the offense that Frank Reich ran in Indianapolis. And then in third place, I have the Jacksonville Jaguars, because I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a impact player for the Jaguars, and I think that Trevor Lawrence is going to solve the quarterback issues that the Jaguars have had in the past 2 years. And obviously, I agree with Chris. that the last place team will be the Houston Texans. Although I do think Deshaun Watson is still going to be their starting quarterback, though.
Ooh. Okay. I can't disagree anyway on all you guys, because I picked the same way. Titans, Colts, Jags, and the Texans. I think Texans are going to be first pick of the draft. Jags, if Lawrence gets everything going there, they might make some rumblings. Maybe not, they might be on the, ninth spot looking in on the playoffs this year, but who knows? The Colts, I hope Wentz resurrects his career over there. I know I got a buddy that's a big Colts fan, so if he hears me not taking the Colts, I know he's going to be mad at me, but you can't argue with the Titans. Titans were strong last year. Tannehill, Henry, all the other weapons they got. So, yeah, I definitely am with you on that. So now we're going to move on to the NFC East. We'll start with the garbage division, as it was called last year by many. I don't see it being much better, but I'll start. I'll go with Washington. I think their defense is going to carry them. I think they signed a excellent bridge quarterback. Number 2, I got the Cowboys. As long as Dak can stay healthy, I think they're going to be a strong team. And then number 3 and number 4, I kind of flip-flop, but I'm going to go with the Giants at number 3 and then the Eagles at number 4 because, again, it sounds like they're in a mess on what they want to do. So, and the Giants just seem like to be injured all the time. So, Chris, it's your division. Let's hear it.
Yeah. Well, I do agree. If Dak can stay healthy, I think they can go far, and I think they can do it. They can win a division if he's healthy. Now, second place would have to be Philadelphia, only because it seems like every year it comes down to Philadelphia and Dallas for who's going to win that title. New York Giants, I don't think they're going to fare well this year. Daniel Jones, I personally think, isn't their go-to quarterback. They should have picked someone else to be that starter. I don't see anything that stands out. And I mean, it's going to be a good season for Washington, but I see them being in last. I mean,
wow,
Ryan Fitzpatrick's good, but it's going to be a tough year with the 17 games.
Okay. Loro, let's go with the NFC East. What do you got?
I got in first place, I got the Dallas Cowboys, all because I think that if it's going to come down to the health of Dak Prescott, I think he's arguably the best quarterback in that division, and I think that the Cowboys have a lot of talent, both offensively and defensively. But I feel like that this is gonna be a much better year for them. The second place team, I got the Washington football team because I think that they're going to be a well-rounded football team. I think last year they had a great season, but I think that I was told that they are the well-coached team in the division because Ron Rivera has really made an impact on that team and also the culture of how Washington runs things. And the third place team I got is the New York Giants. I think that Daniel Jones has no excuses to make a big leap in year 3. And I say that because they got Kenny Golladay, but I only question their offensive line and their defense. And in last, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Eagles might even prove me wrong this year because I think Jalen Hurts. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be better than Carson Wentz in Philadelphia. I think the Eagles might have found their franchise quarterback in Jalen Hurts. They thought they had it in Carson, but Carson Wentz kept getting hurt, and he had not so good seasons under Doug Peterson.
Yeah, but when Wentz was healthy, he was MVP candidate. But big hot take there from Loro, bringing the heat with the Hurts is going to be better than Wentz. I kind of like it though. I mean, if he stays healthy, he could be. So, but Loro, you talked about the well-coached team of Washington. I think a lot of those guys are doing it for Rivera and the struggles that went through this past few seasons. So, yeah, I think they're well respecting him and they're listening to him. So, all right, so we'll move to the West. Loro, kind of your second division here. So, let's hear your breakdown. Who's gonna do what in the West?
Well, I think this division's the best division in all of football. So I think the Los Angeles Rams will finish in first place. I think they're in a win now mode. Then Seattle and San Francisco. I think they gave up a lot of draft capital to get Matthew Stafford here. I think the Rams defense has always been very good, but I think that the Rams offense has really held them back to winning a championship. It showed it in Super Bowl 53 when the Rams were held to 3 points in that Super Bowl when Jared Goff was under center. But I think Matthew Stafford gives them the best chance to win a championship. And I thought he had the same mentality. The Lions had a best chance to win a championship with Stafford. He did everything he can to save the Detroit Lions, but it did not work out because the Detroit Lions have a very bad front office. And I think that the Lions are heading into a new direction. So I have the Rams in first, then I have the Seattle Seahawks in second, and then the Arizona Cardinals in third. I think the Cardinals are going to be so much better offensively, but I think that defensively is the question mark, but we'll see how they do. But I thought that the Cardinals had a chance to make the playoffs last year, but they really faltered down the stretch. And then my last place team will be the San Francisco 49ers, but I do think that the 49ers will be a lot better than they were last year. And I think that Trey Lance is going to start over Jimmy G.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to. You talking week one, or are you talking you're talking week one? Okay. I know there's Mr. Isaiah be happy with that. All right, so Chris, how is the West going to be won in your eyes?
The Wild Wild West. Let's see. I think LA Rams are going to be in first. I mean, they have a good quarterback now. They did before, but I think they improved what they got. Close second is going to be Arizona. I think Kyler Murray is going to show some of his critics what he can do. I know he's been struggling a little bit here and there throughout his time in Arizona. Seattle is going to be third. Russell Wilson's kind of getting up there. He's still an elite quarterback, but they've been struggling off and on. They'll start out really good and kind of poorly, and then kind of pick it back up in the playoffs if they make it. But I think they're going to be in third. And in fourth, I don't think it really matters who's at quarterback, really. San Francisco's still going to have a struggling year.
All right. So, yeah, just think about it. The Rams gave up all that capital. They don't have a first round draft pick until 2025, I think it is, or 2024. So they're in it to win it. I mean, and if they don't, they're gonna hear from the fans really quickly.
Yeah.
All right. So, Chris, why don't you give me the breakdown of the NFC North division here?
NFC North. Well,
another good division, I think.
Another good division, yeah. NFC North, I think only because Aaron Rodgers is back, and he's kind of the workforce for that team. Green Bay is going to be in first. I'm putting Minnesota in second. Not far behind with Green Bay. Third is going to be Chicago. And I think they're going to start. I know they're going to start Andy Dalton, but I think they should have went their rookie quarterback. I feel like he's playing a little better than Dalton, even though Dalton has experience. And Detroit is going to be in last. I don't think there's no hope for him.
No, I think they gave away everything and the water boy this year. I think that's going to be a whole new 53-man roster this year. So, top to bottom. So, Loro, what do you got on the North?
All right, so on the NFC North, I got the Green Bay Packers winning the division just because Aaron Rodgers is back. He gives them the best chance to win. He is the baddest man in the NFL, as you all know. And in second place, I got the Chicago Bears just because I feel like that their defense will get them there, but I just feel like that I disagree with the quarterback situation because I felt like Andy Dalton shouldn't start. He's more of a third string, second string type quarterback. I think Justin Fields should start with Nick Foles as the backup quarterback. And then at third place, the Minnesota Vikings. Although I think Kirk Cousins is good, but I just don't think he's that great. I think the reason why I think the Vikings will have a winning record is because of the running game and also Justin Jefferson and also their defense, which is called the Purple Leaders. I think their defense is going to be better than they were last year. And I think the Bears are going to be in second place because of the defense. And no surprise here, the Lions will be in last.
Yeah, definitely no surprise there. I can't disagree with you guys. I mean, I know I'm a Viking fan and I should, but, to be the Green Bay situation, to have two Hall of Fame quarterbacks back to back and do what they do, it's just troubling that they don't have more rings. So I got Green Bay number one. It was tough to decide on 2 and 3 because I think they're both going to have big bounce back years. I put Vikings number 2 only if that defense shapes up and gets into the top 5 defenses like they have been with Zim before. If not, they're going to be third and maybe even fourth if they don't get that defense shaped up. The offense I'm not worried about except for the offensive line. Number 3, I got the Bears. I'm with you guys. I think they should start Fields. I don't know why they're going to start Dalton. And then number 4, the rebuild Lions. I mean, they might as well just rebrand themselves. Pick a different name, pick some different colors. I don't know, because right now they don't even have a face of the franchise. So
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, so let's go with the last division of the night. Chris, why don't you give me a breakdown of the South here?
All right, the South. Hopefully it's a little better than last year. I know, last year was kind of struggling, but kind of like the Chiefs and the Bills. I don't think it's a surprise that Tampa Bay is going to be number one, only because of Tom Brady, and they brought back their Super Bowl offense and defense from last year. 22 players coming back from last year, which is hard to do, but they did it. They found a way to do it, and Tampa Bay's going to remain on top until, I don't know, Tom Brady gets hurt or he's replaced. Falcons are going to be number 2. I think they're going to have a little better year than last year. Maybe not playoff better, but they'll be in second. Third place is going to be Carolina. And then fourth is going to be New Orleans. They don't have Drew Brees. Their quarterback situation's not too good as well. And then you're having problems with Michael Thomas. So there's just a lot of problems going on in New Orleans, football-wise. And I don't know. I don't think it's going to be this year.
All right, Loro, the South.
Oh, no surprise here that Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will finish in first just because they brought their whole Super Bowl team back together. I think the second place team, I think the Saints will still be in second because I think Sean Payton is very creative in how he's going to run that offense. As long as Alvin Kamara is on the field and that you have other receivers to throw to and then you use Taysom Hill as a gadget, the Saints will be just fine. And then the third place team I got is the Atlanta Falcons. And I think that the Atlanta Falcons will be better than they were last year, but they're probably a 7-8 team or a 7-10 team or something like that if you had that extra game. I think the Falcons and the Panthers will be tied for third place, but I think Carolina will be in last.
Oh, wow. That's a big one there, even with the new quarterback. So, again, I think, like you guys said, it's no doubt. I mean, you bring back your whole Super Bowl team. Without doing research, I couldn't remember the last time that the whole starting 22 guys came back the following year. So, got the Bucks. With like I said, Tom Brady, love to hate him. He's kind of growing on me a little bit. I could kind of throw him into the GOAT talk a little bit. But yeah, the Bucs number 1. I got the Panthers number 2. Shout out to our guy Sarge. That's his team. I think they're going to be rejuvenated. McCaffrey stays healthy. They got a decent quarterback now. So my battle was between 3 and 4. I think Wentz has got a lot on his shoulders, but I think he will keep them out of last place. So I got the Saints at number 3, and then I got the Falcons at number 4. But again, I can see them flip-flopping. I'm even with Chris on, maybe the Falcons could finish second, but, that's another division I think, Bucs should definitely walk away with. So, got a few more minutes left. Let's get out early season, week 1. We're going to predict who's going to win the MVP. Loro, who do you think is going to be headlining the end of the year MVP race?
I think Tom Brady's going to win MVP because I think that him and Mahomes and Rodgers will be and Josh Allen. I think those quarterbacks will be in that discussion, but I just think Tom Brady's going to win another MVP because I think he'll be the reason why Tampa Bay will go back to another Super Bowl.
All right, so I'm going to throw this out here too. Let's also throw out a non-quarterback that we think should be MVP. So Loro, a non-quarterback that should be MVP.
I would say 2 that I have in mind. I have Derrick Henry of the Titans, and I have Aaron Donald of the LA Rams because I think those guys really make impacts on both sides of the ball, but they do different things with the football as well. But Aaron Donald's a sacks machine, and Derrick Henry is a running maniac.
All right. No, I gotcha. So, Chris, give me your MVP, and if it's a quarterback, give me a name that's not a quarterback. So,
all right, I'll give you 2, basically.
Right.
Quarterback, I think it's going to be Tom Brady. I mean, Aaron Rodgers won it last year, and I think it goes back and forth between, Rodgers and Brady. And then at non-quarterback, I do agree it's going to be Darnold. I mean, defense helps. They kind of secure your team into playoffs or to win a game. So I'm going to go with Aaron Darnold.
All right. For me, I'm going to throw a name out there. If Brady goes back-to-back, I think he's going to win it. But his stats just aren't up there like, a typical quarterback. I believe it's going to be a quarterback that's going to win it. And I'm going to throw out there Josh Allen. I think Allen's going to have a monster year this year. He's probably the only thing that could stop Kansas City from repeating if he stays healthy. My non-quarterback, God, what Henry did in 16 games, give him another game. I mean, we might see some records being broken here. So, I'm going to go with Henry. But, again, a close second, Donald. I mean, the guy's just a man beast on the side, so on that side of the ball. So that's what we got. We'll post them. I'm gonna post it on the Coast to Coast website on our predictions for the season, so you guys can follow. Let us know how we're doing, and we can kind of gloat at the end of the year on who's going to take the crowd as the best predictor. I think so.
Do we have a prediction? Do we have a prediction for this Thursday's game or?
Oh yeah, let's throw one out there. We got the Cowboys and the
Tampa Bay.
Bucs.
Yeah.
So Chris, who are you taking this game?
I want Dallas to win, but I really feel like it's going to be Tampa Bay. Tom Brady's good in these kind of games. The Patriots were 3-0 in these kickoff games, and normally the team that won the Super Bowl the previous year usually wins. The first game, the Thursday game. I'm going with Tampa Bay.
So here's one for you, Chris. The point spread I saw was 7.5. Do the Cowboys cover that? Do they lose less than 7 by the 7?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, so Chris is saying they cover the point spread. All right, low roll. Who you got in the Thursday game?
I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think Tom Brady's going to have a field day. I think he's going to throw 5 touchdown passes in this game against the Dallas Cowboys.
Woo-hoo.
And I also look forward to making the rest of our Week 1 predictions next Sunday.
Yeah. So I'm with you guys. I think Bucks are going to destroy them. 7.5. I think that's going to be covered by halftime, I think. So, but yeah, so a little bit of what's going on next week. We'll break down all the number 1 games, Week 1 games. We'll recap the Cowboys Bucks. And then we're also going to pick one morning game, one afternoon game, and then we'll pick the winners of those games. Yeah, and then we'll also pick and then we'll pick the Sunday winner, and we'll pick the Monday night winner. We're going to keep a running tally. Viewers, if you want to participate, we'll tell you what games we're going to pick, and we'll probably post them on the website so everybody can see them firsthand. And then between us 3 and, if we get some other host on, we'll just do a running tally and see who comes out the best in picking games. So with that being said, Chris, give me some final thoughts here. Ready for some football? I mean,
I am
what
ready.
else we got on tap this week?
I'm excited for football coming back. It's been a long off season, and happy to see fans back as well. Tonight's going to be Between the Ropes. I believe we're doing that tonight. But make sure to tune in for that, announcement or not. And then just tune in to Coast to Coast. We have some good shows. So.
Yeah, we just had a new show start Friday. They handicapped some games, so check that out. So, Loro, first closing remarks here on the Coast to Coast. What do you got for us?
I'm very happy and excited to be part of the Coast to Coast team, and you can catch me on the morning tailgate every Sunday mornings before the NFL season starts, but I'll also make some select appearances on Sports Minute, so be sure to catch me on those 2 shows along with my duties on the MI6 network.
Yes, we don't want to forget that. So, yes, if some viewers don't know, us and Coast to Coast and MI6 kind of have a working partnership, and you see some of these lovely faces on Coast to Coast, and you see some of the lovely faces on MI6 interacting. So it's a fun partnership. I enjoy it. It helps out both networks. So for me, football season's here. Thursday we get kickoff. Had a slew of college games that I try to watch at work, but my Gophers fell on Thursday. Heart injury there. But yes, hopefully we have stay tuned for Between the Ropes. It's one of our staple shows, break down Raw, SmackDown, and whatever else pops up. You'll see me on Tuesday on deck with Chris and Dirk and whoever else wants to join, and then the Sports Minute on Wednesday for sure. But always tune in. We've got great content for everybody. With that being said, we'll check you guys next Sunday for Week 1 of the NFL. Until then, you guys have a good week.